Remasters. The first Australian into the women's semis at an Olympics in 24 years.
She's a former beach sprinter that has moved to the track so successfully. She's won it off scratch.
It is seriously one of the all-time great runs at Storm.
Hey guys, and welcome back to my vlog. If you're new here, my name's Brie. I'm a professional track sprinter and I'm currently based in Belgium for a block of training and racing. So before I get more into this vlog, I just want to say, for those of you waiting for a Luxembourg race vlog, I'm sorry, but there isn't going to be one. I didn't really film much footage to start off with. There was no live stream. I have no footage of the race. Like, I haven't even been able to review the race myself. But in saying that, the race did not go to plan. It was definitely far from my best. I felt so far from my best, which again, I'll go more into towards the end of this vlog. But yeah, by the end of the weekend, I really just didn't want to look at a camera. Like, I just didn't feel myself. So I think that's completely valid, and I'm sure many of you would understand. But I think one of those races where we're just going to forget about it and we just need to move on and channel good energy. Anyways, this morning started with breakfast. I'm a big breakfast person. I will literally wake up and I'm hungry. At the moment, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll know this, but I'm so obsessed with my breakfast spread. This morning I did run out of peanut butter though, so I couldn't do one toast peanut butter, blueberries, one toast, avo, egg, cottage cheese, hot chili honey, avo smash seasoning. I'm so glad I brought those two things. So I brought the hot chili honey and the avo smash seasoning over with me, and honestly it's made such a difference because I feel like those two ingredients really make this breakfast. But instead I just kind of like spread the egg like right across, and we just went with that. It was still yummy regardless, but I do need to get some more peanut butter. So right now I'm going to pack up my stuff. I have been getting into a little bit of work. So I kind of like every morning I wake up, I have my breakfast and I do some work. And then once that's kind of settled, I'll take my things down to Cafe Noir, which is a coffee shop where we've all been hanging out here in Leuven. It's like the athlete hotspot, to have our morning coffee. And I do a heap of more work there of a morning. It's literally a cafe that is pretty much made for uni students. It's a bit of a uni town here. So they've got like heaps of tables. There's so many people in there working on laptops. There's like plugs everywhere so you can charge your laptop. So it's the perfect work environment for me. And it's awesome that I can kind of take my work out of the Airbnb and to like a new environment. So it's nice to kind of move around, go have a coffee, put my headphones in. Some other athletes come and join and just have a little chat with them. So yeah, it's a really cool spot. So I'm also dreaming about my morning coffee. Maybe I'll get two today because it's a double training session day. Oh, I love coffee so much. I have like the coffee tea bags here with me in my Airbnb, which I brought from home. It's kind of like an emergency coffee in case like I can't get my hands on one, but nothing replaces my good old oat cappuccino. But here they don't do chocky on top of the cappuccino, which is really sad because that's the best part. Also, I know there's probably a few of you watching this confused as to why I work and why I'm also a professional athlete. Like, isn't that work? Isn't that full time? I feel like as I've grown a social media presence, I get a lot of messages being like, what? You still work? Why do you work? Aren't you a professional athlete? I think there's a bit of a misconception out there that like all professional athletes just do that and they don't have a job. But in reality, most of us hold down full-time jobs or part-time jobs. I'm like in between. I'm 30 hours a week and I work at LSKD in PR, media and athletes. And I absolutely love it. And it is a brand that supports my sporting career and my career after sport. It is incredibly hard as professional athletes who want to take things to that elite level to hold down a job or find a business that is supportive of that, because here I am overseas pretty much every single year for at least like 2 to 3 months. So to ask work to do that is scary, I understand. But I was just so upfront with LSKD at first, and they have been nothing but supportive and allow me to take my job on the road with me, which I am lucky that I have a role that allows me to do that. There are many roles at LSKD where I wouldn't be able to do that. But I am so blessed to have that relationship and this job, and be able to kind of like hold them all down together. Now, it is chaotic. I often have people tell me that I am the busiest person they've ever met and how do I do it all? And honestly, I don't know. I do thrive off being busy though, and just to-do lists, ticking things off. I have a lot of tenacity, and plus I have a passion for pursuing my life after sport. I also don't like thinking about athletics all the time. I think work is an awesome space for kind of me to step away from the track and my thoughts there and just really shift everything to something else. And I'm really enjoying what I'm doing. I love PR, I love marketing, I love working with athletes. So it's an awesome business and an awesome job. And yeah, the juggle is hard. It really is at times. But I feel like being over here in Belgium, life is a little bit slower at times because I'm not driving to the gym at 6:30 a.m. and it takes me like an hour and a half to get there. And then, the office is in Logan, which is like 45 minutes from my house. So I'm really like decreasing travel time. But, being able to kind of keep my brain busy whilst I'm here, things can get really boring when you're overseas training because all you do is train and then what do? Just like sit there and watch movies? Like, nah, my brain needs to be like, doing something. So I'm really grateful that I can do my job over here. I really miss the team back at home. It's really different working remotely and not being able to see the team in person and work collaboratively with them. I love working as a team. So yeah, I just remind myself it's only for a short period of time and it's an opportunity to really get things done with no distractions. And we'll be home soon. All right, so I'm really craving my morning coffee now. So we're going to head down to Cafe Noir. We're going to get through some work emails and some other important things. And I'll see you guys there. Today in total, and I don't even know if they feel like they've hit. I'm just not feeling the caffeine at the moment. I'm just so flat, but they were yummy and that's all that matters. I've just come back because I'm going to cook up some lunch. I'm making like a chicken, rice, veg fajita bowl before training, and I just want to eat it with enough time to let it like settle down so I'm not feeling like I need to throw it up at the track. I've been trying to make most of my meals here in my Airbnb, so I think it's really important when I'm booking somewhere abroad for a long period of time that there is one, a kitchen, two, a washing machine. I feel like they're the two non-negotiables for me. So yeah, I've been cooking most of my meals here, and then on the odd occasion we've been eating out. Now, the groceries here are very expensive. Obviously the dollar, not great, and everything is just expensive, but it is what it is. I'm just really trying to prioritize my nutrition at the moment and cook really good, nutritious, filling, energizing meals just to try and help myself feel a little bit better. So we're gonna cook this up. We're definitely gonna have leftovers, so I think I'll save some for tomorrow's lunch. Voila, here is my lunch for today. Gone for something just super fueling because I do have a double session today. So we've got a very large amount of rice, chicken, and then all the colors of the rainbow capsicum and some mushrooms. So I'm going to devour this and then get stuck into some more work before I get ready for the track. All right, so I've just got them ready for training. So I thought I would show you my fit. So I'm wearing LSKD, of course. I don't wear any other activewear. This is the Fusion X Short and Stamina Bra in lemon. Now I think this literally just dropped today. I was lucky because before I left, It was already stocked in the warehouse, so I got my hands on it earlier, and I'm so glad I could bring this overseas with me because lemon is literally one of my favorite colors, especially when it comes to activewear. I feel like it's just so bright and happy, and whenever I wear it, I just feel good, to be honest. I think it really complements really nicely with my Euro summer tan, although I haven't really seen much sun since I got here. So for those of you who might not know, I'm an LSKD athlete, and I have been for like 5 years now, and I do have a discount code for you all to get a little cheeky discount. It is Brie LSKD, and it gets you 15% off. Now, I'm sure most of my Australian followers or people who have followed me for a while, especially on other platforms, would be well aware of who LSKD is, but if the brand is new to you, I'll chuck the link to their website in the description below. So if you guys love this yellow lemon fit as much as I do, then feel free to use that code for a little cheeky discount and treat yourself, because you know what I like to say? Out with the black activewear and in with the colors. Honestly, it just brightens up your day. All right, so I have just finished getting ready, packed all my bags, and I'm just gonna grab a little snack for in between the sessions. I feel like it's so important to have a little bit of fuel in between, considering it's a double session training day. I wish we had those in Australia. They're like YoPro, but the brand's called HiPro over here, and it's like a yogurt drink. It's like a smoothie, so good. And then I also popped all of my Pillar Performance sups into a little shake. It is just collagen, creatine, and vitamin C, and I've been having this daily. All right, so everywhere I go, I ride my bicycle. It is my main mode of transport at the moment. So I'm going to introduce you to her. I haven't given her a name, but I probably should. So if there's any name ideas, let me know. This is her. She's electric, so she gives me a little bit of assistance. And she's got a basket. That's about it. Nothing too exciting. All right, I just popped into the indoor track and the weather's not too bad, so I'm going to train outdoors today and get some fresh air. Just grabbed some blocks because they don't have them outside, but I have a pretty short session today. I have 2 flies, a 40 build 30 fly, so that's actually a pretty long fly, and then 3 30s out of blocks, a 60 and an 80 meter. So short and sharp today. Quite literally just started warming up and it just starts raining, so we're just going to embrace it and get wet. So I've done my flies and one of my block starts, and my foot is so numb. I don't know about anyone else, but does people's toes go, sorry for the feet content, does anyone else's toes go numb in spikes? I sometimes have to take them off in between reps to let feeling come back to my toes, and these are quite new, so maybe I haven't had time to stretch them out, but no, they're not too small. Before any of those comments start coming through, I've already had that issue. I've gone up half a size than my regular shoe size in spikes. I know some people like them smaller, like my husband prefers to downsize a whole size, so he's actually the same size spike as me, but I prefer to have some more room and to protect my feet, although my feet still get numb. It's so annoying. Tian decided to join me outside in the rain. Warmed up inside like a pussy. No, I'm kidding. So I'm back on the track and I'm about to cook dinner. I think tonight I'm going to do steak, veg and fries. I've been doing a lot of steak, salad and fries, but I think today I'm going to change it up for the veg, and then I'll have my nightly magnesium, which gives me the best sleep. And then, yeah, hopefully sleep another 9 to 10 hours. On the topic of sleep, actually, I'm going to put my sleep stats up here. I have been sleeping so much in the last 2 months, and in particular, the last 2 weeks consistently. I usually get about 7 hours of sleep a night max. Like, I struggle to go over that, and I know that I should be in the 8-hour mark, but I literally struggle to get 8. Like, 8 is like a good day for me. And lately I've been consistently sleeping 9 to 10 hours. So my body is definitely working overtime to recover. And the reasoning for that is, I don't know if you guys remember, but I got really sick back towards the end of May when I was in Rabat. So that was that crazy period where I flew 70 hours in like 3 weeks. I went to like 3 different countries, did all these races. I went China for World Relays, and then to Japan, and then to Rabat. It was crazy. I don't think I've ever done anything like that before, but there were so many cool opportunities that I wanted to take up. Like, I got to experience my first Diamond League. I won my first gold meet. It was honestly crazy, but along the way, I picked up a sickness. And before you come at me in the comments, yes, I wear a mask on all of my flights and travel. I feel like I've had that comment before, and yes, I do. I am one of those paranoid athletes that must wear one because I've had bad experiences before, but sometimes you just pick things up on the way and you can't avoid it. So I got really sick on the flight over to Rabat. Competing at my first Diamond League, jet lagged and sick, was definitely not on my bucket list, but hey, I went out there and I was like, look, just get out there and compete, soak it all up, take in the experience, and hopefully we can be back here someday. But yeah, it wasn't my best result. I felt awful. It was probably easily the sickest that I have ever felt. It was probably highlighted with jet lag symptoms as well. So yeah, it was a challenging period. Anyway, ever since that sickness, my body just has not been the same. I ended up going to France the week after. I took a whole week off training. And then on the second week I was in France, I slightly got back into training. And then the idea was to come home and get in a full block of training for 4 weeks. Now, the reason for that was I've had a comment recently that says, can you touch on how hard it is for Australian athletes to compete in the Australian domestic season, but then also go on to the international season and the majors? And yes, it is incredibly hard. Our summers are obviously completely different. Our seasons are completely different. So we're trying to compete well and peak for our national championships, which goes from, I'd say, like January to April. And then pretty much straight after April, May is always my most crazy month. We had World Relays. I usually go to Japan, and then I end up going to the Diamond League. That's when the international stuff really starts to ramp up. And then most athletes go overseas for that June, July, August period, which is crazy now because our World Championships have now been pushed back to September, which this time last year was the Olympics. So we're going a whole month and a half longer than usual, which makes it even harder for us Aussie athletes because you just don't stop. There's like not much time for a break, especially if you're someone like me and hasn't run a qualifier and you're trying to qualify on world ranking points. You're constantly trying to, maximize your opportunities in the Australian domestic season and build your world ranking by running fast and placing well at all of the meets. And then you want to come over to the international season and do a similar thing to try and solidify your spot. And it is so hard. Right now, I think I'm 41 of 48 on the world rankings to qualify for Tokyo. And I'm watching my name drop again. It's very similar to the Olympics last year. It is not a nice feeling. And I feel like I might just scrape in, but we'll have to wait and see. So it does get quite stressful because then you're trying to chase points. And yeah, it is really, really hard and it gets really exhausting. So in saying that, it is really hard for your coach to program you for where you want to peak. So usually I probably try and peak twice a year. So I try and peak for nationals in Australia and then the major that year. So for me this year, I had an incredible start to the season. Honestly, best domestic season yet. It was so much fun. And I was just racing. And then obviously finishing off with that crazy race travel period, I knew my body needed a break and it needed some work. So I wanted to go back into a training block, get back to work and let my body, train and allow it to come back up at the end of the season. But as soon as I got home, I knew something was off. I was not recovering like I usually would, and I was doing all of the 1%ers that I usually would. So I knew something was off. My coach and I have great communication, and he was altering my training sessions, allowing me to, have more time to recover, but it just wasn't happening. I was always just incredibly fatigued, tired. I had people questioning my energy and if I was okay. And then I started getting really frustrated. Like, I was getting the sleep in. I was doing all of my recovery things. My nutrition was on point. I was supplementing right. Like, I was so frustrated. I was like, why am I not recovering? I don't get it. And obviously, like, I gave my body time to come back from that sickness. I feel like with any sickness, you know, you get sick, it writes you off for a little bit, you have some time off training, and then the next week's a little bit like, and then, you know, you back on track. I just never got back on track. It made me start asking questions because I feel like as an athlete, I know my body the best. I'm so in tune with it. And I knew something was wrong. And I'm such a hard nut. I'm usually someone that's just like, nah, she'll be right. Just push through. You'll be sweet. But it felt off enough for me to start asking questions. So I went and did all the things that you would to find out maybe what the underlying issue was. So I did all my bloods and all that stuff. What we found in my bloods was that I had a recent infection of COVID, which I didn't know you could get blood tests for that. But we've come to the conclusion that what I had at the end of May was most likely COVID, and I had no idea what it was at the time. I didn't have a test or anything. I just thought it was a flu. Good old me, like, yeah, it's all right. She's just got the flu. She'll be right. And all signs point to post-viral fatigue or long COVID, whatever you want to call it, which I didn't really know was a thing either. And I guess COVID affects everybody differently. And, you know, Matt didn't get it. I don't know why he didn't get it. But here I am suffering from fatigue, brain fog, just really bad recovery, muscle aches, incredible sleep. I'm just super drowsy all the time, and some days are better than others. Like, today has been a good day. And in saying that, I am really, really, really pushing my sleep and really allowing myself to sleep. So I'm hoping the hours of sleep that I'm getting are really helping my body recover. I don't know how long this is going to last for, and it is incredibly frustrating because it has affected my training and my racing and just my way of life. I've heard so many people now who have struggled with this type of thing, and it's interesting to hear how differently it has affected everyone. This couldn't have happened to me at a worse time of the season, but that's okay. It's part of the journey and we'll get through it. But anyway, let's cook some dinner because I am really hungry and really looking forward to a good night's sleep. Also, guys, don't judge me, but I put barbecue sauce on like anything and everything that I can. I feel like I saw a comment once and it was like, ew, barbecue sauce. Underrated. Absolutely underrated. And a must with steak. Right, I'm gonna devour this plate of goodness, and then I'm pretty much gonna have my magnesium and get, hopefully, another 9 to 10 hours of sleep. Oh, it is pouring outside. The weather has not been great here in the last couple of days. I feel like it's been like on and off rain, which is not ideal when you have to bike everywhere and you train outdoors, but that's okay. A little bit of rain doesn't hurt anyone. But yeah, I think I'm just going to leave this vlog here. Short and sweet. Hope you guys enjoyed a really basic day in my life here in Leuven. Not super exciting. Nice and slow. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys in my next vlog. Whatever that is, I don't know. Bye!